into 5th.
Dittmer will knock himself down to 6th there. Not what Dittmer wants. We know he wants to start as close up as he can. And Dittmer got that win a couple weeks ago at Las Vegas to etch his name into the finale. He was the first driver to be fully locked in. And then last week at Bristol, Rhett Tucker locked himself in with his Stage 1 finish and went on to win Stage 2 and Stage 3 to win the race at Bristol. So Dittmer and Tucker both locked themselves in on wins. Higginbotham and Lumpkin locking themselves in on points. But don't make any mistake, whether it's getting in with a win, whether it's getting in on points, they've earned their spots here in the finale. And truly, we have the top 4 of the season ready to do battle for 180 laps here at the Richmond Raceway. 50, 50, and 80, your stages here tonight as time going to continue to wind down in qualifying, and we're going to go racing for the season finale here in the Snead Competition Design Truck Series.
For those who are just joining us, YouTube has had a glitch. It was trying to go live for 7 straight minutes, and it just now decided to turn on. So thank you all for joining us here on Racecraft TV, and welcome to the finale of the Snead Competition Design Truck Series here at Richmond Raceway. I've been joined by Josh Wee. I'm Austin Knight, and we're currently here at the end of qualifying right now, so let's go out onto track.
Those top 4 playoff drivers finding themselves in the top 7. Right now, McKinnon, Bradley, and Duquette, the only 3 that have been able to run with the playoff drivers right now. As Higginbotham will start on the pole, and he is going to be starting the first out of those playoff drivers that we're going to be talking about all night, because whoever finishes in front of those playoff drivers will be the champion. So right now, Higginbotham has one hand on that trophy, but to get 2 hands on it and lift it up, he's going to need to finish above Tucker, Lumpkin, and Dittmer, and that goes for each of these drivers out here.
We're currently just hovering over this track. Richmond is a very unique track, layout-wise and way to race on, and a very weird track to end out a season, because the end of the Cup Series out in Phoenix. And we're going to end it here at Richmond. So it is a very technical short track. And this is going to be showing the driver's skill going to be the decider here today.
And mastering a short track is something that we have seen to be very difficult. We had a short track last week as well, but very different short track in Bristol. Very fast, very high banked, and a coliseum, where Richmond is more of a D-shaped oval, a little bit like Iowa, shorter than Iowa, less banking than Iowa, but races fairly similar. I'd say this track races more towards Martinsville than it really does any other short track on the NASCAR schedule, because you really need to get that car slowed down, run that bottom line, and try and get the best run you can onto those straightaways. And tire wear, brake wear, something we're going to be talking about all night.
Yeah, especially tire wear, because coming out of turn 2, there's this weird bump on exit. If you put too much power down, your back end's going to go around. You might hit that wall on the outside because it kind of jumps out and bites at you. And if you hit that wall, you might come swooping across traffic, and we might see some multi-car incidents from just a little bit too much happy on the pedal. So it's a very slick track, but the setup here has been tuned to make it as easy and in control, but there have been some drivers who have been struggling with this car.
Richmond is definitely going to be a great finale track. Is something else we really need to worry about is that braking going down into turn 1 and 3. You get too hot on the brakes, you might end up wheel hopping, going up the track into another truck, or just ruining your line for that corner. But it's time to see that starting grid.
It is time to see that starting grid, and let's go to our starting grid right now, as Jason Higginbotham lines up on pole with Michael McKinnon right beside him. Rhett Tucker, Justin Lumpkin trying to chase down their championship rival. They're followed by Keith Bradley and Joey Duquette in 6th place, with Tyler Dittmer, the lowest of the championship drivers, down in 7th, followed by Robert Richards, Cody Knott, Scott Osment, Chris Cinnamon, Ben Ganoyski in 12th place. And they're followed by Jesse Sarge, Dane Hagan, Tyler Daniels, Stephen Thomas, Lance Miller, Jonathan Munda, Matthew Highmore, Tori Thompson, and Will Eastman is our final driver on the grid.
Michael McKinnon giving a briefing to all these drivers, giving a good luck to each of those drivers in the playoffs. We'll remind you one more time who those 4 drivers are. It's Jason Higginbotham in the 56, Rhett Tucker in the 99, Justin Lumpkin in the 87, and Tyler Dittmer in the 4. Whoever finishes first out of those 4 will be your champion. It's just the first to cross the start-finish line on the checkered flag out of those 4. That's all these drivers need to worry about, but it's a long way before we crown a champion. 180 laps. We're getting ready to go racing here at the Richmond Raceway. The pace truck is going to pull down here in another lap. As I just remembered, Richmond has 2 pace laps.
Yeah, it's less than a mile, so it is a short track. So we got 2 pace laps here at Richmond, and that allows Jason Higginbotham, our pole sitter, to collect his mind and figure out his start and try to pull away from his championship rivals early on. And Michael McKinnon's also racing for something. He's currently in the car in 5th place overall in the championship, and the driver who finishes this race in 5th place overall gets a butt kicker for the season. And for the playoff drivers, they're not going to be using the stage points. It's about where you finish with the top 4. The rest of the field still uses the stage points.
Now it's time to get started here at Richmond. Pace car going to pull into the safety of pit road. Higginbotham going to lead them to green. At the checkered flag, we'll have a Snead Competition Design Truck Series champion. Let's go racing. It's the season finale.
Look at that start by Rhett Tucker, immediately going down to the inside, immediately on the gas. And he's up there into 2nd place as we hear cars screaming for grip already here on this start.
Higginbotham going to get away with the lead early. Now going to be fighting with Rhett Tucker, who moves his way up into 2nd. Keith Bradley moves his way up into 4th. That knocked Lumpkin and Dittmer now together. They're going to run 5th and 6th. It's 2 and 2 right now with the playoff drivers. McKinnon and Bradley stuck in between them.
All right, man.
And caution is out.
Tonight is out.
Big accident on the back straight. Cody Knott involved. And the 93 comes off the track and swipes the nose. That was Tyler Daniels stopped on track. Cody Knott, a lot of damage. And Will Eastman is stuck in the pits. So let's get a replay of that. Looking at the 26 of Cody Knott. It's in turn 2 right now. And just a little bit too much power coming off there. Got onto the bump right there and into the wall. And let's take a look at Tyler Daniels, who just got bumped from the side and came up the track and into somebody else.
Very early caution here at Richmond.
Oh, Gnoisky got into the back of the 53. Then the 93 got turned by the 24. 24 is a Lance Miller. Who's the one who turned the 93. So first caution is out. Everyone pretty much stays out. Only one going into the pits is Tyler Daniels. No faster pairs in this series. So as they do this race lap and I get everybody back up to speed, we'll be right back after a very short caution. This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description.
Let's face it, to build a new website or redesign your existing site, you have 2 options. You can start by learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, SEO, SQL, CMS, well, you get the idea. Or you can be smarter and look for someone who is a professional in web design like Snead Competition Design. We are experienced in building quality websites for our clients. We always start with strategy and planning to build a clear vision about what you need. Your website will then be passed on to the design and development phase, where we will ensure that you get a fully responsive design that is easy to use regardless of any device using the latest tools in web development. Contact us today, and let's talk about accelerating your business to the next level by creating a complete online solution.
Welcome back to Racecraft TV here at Richmond International. The pace car has come across and put the lights out. These guys are 2 by 2 and ready to get going once more. The field in the hands of Jason Higginbotham ahead of Rhett Tucker. And after, well, just 6 laps, we've had one incident that has involved about 4 cars. But all of our championship drivers up there in the top 6. Pace car pulls off. And let's get ready to rumble once more here in Richmond.
Good start from Higginbotham. He's using a little bit of a page out of Rhett Tucker's handbook. A very early start to try and get a jump on the 99. They're going to be a truck length in between them as they go through 1 and 2. Now onto the back straightaway. Rhett Tucker closing in ever so slightly. Not going to make a move for the lead yet.
As they come around turns 3 and 4, the field spreading out behind him. It's Higginbotham leading it back onto the front straight.
Dittmer has passed Lumpkin, so he moves up to 3rd now in the championship fight. But the top 2, still the top 2 on the racetrack. Higginbotham versus Rhett Tucker. And Jason Higginbotham is pulling away now from the 99. That's what he needs to do. He wants to make sure that he can grab that championship. A great start to the night for the 56.
Jason Higginbotham has his beer full of Rhett Tucker, though. You see that wiggle he just had off of turn 2. That wiggle is going to be very, very dangerous for all the drivers here. And he's staring at one of the most aggressive drivers on the grid. We've seen Rhett Tucker make some insane moves, and I feel like this is the fight we're going to be watching for the win for most of the night between Higginbotham and Tucker.
Right now, that gap in between them, about 0.3 of a second, staying pretty consistent all around the racetrack. Higginbotham was pulling away for a second, but Rhett Tucker has kept him reeled in for the time being, just not close enough to make a move for the lead. And you know, Rhett Tucker, he loves to lead, but he's also very strategic with when he takes that lead. Might just be trying to conserve tire wear. Might be expecting a long green flag run coming, as we are now at 38 laps, or 39 laps left here in stage 1.
Justin Lumpkin under pressure by the 48 of Robert Richards. Lumpkin, one of our championship drivers, trying to hold it around the outside, but Richards is holding down the inside line, and he's got past Lumpkin on the inside.
Lumpkin now moving down to 7th. He is going the opposite way of where he wants to go. He needs to finish above Dittmer, Tucker, and Higginbotham for the championship. Right now, he is the bottom of the 4.
Yeah, you do not want to be there at all. Justin Lumpkin has fallen away from Richards. That early start, the early parts of this race is definitely not going his way. He needs to get his head cleared so he can stay in the game, or else it's going to be a very painful night for Justin Lumpkin. Matthew Highmore, Ben Ganoyski going side by side heading into turn 1. Ganoyski has a lot of front end damage. Highmore sends it down low, up 7 spots to 36, sitting in 12th. Also, we got a side by side battle. They're banging doors. Lance Miller and Jonathan Munda side by side, and Lance Miller is getting paused by Jesse Sarge. There's Cody Knott down the inside. And Lance, look at the damage by Lance Miller in that 24. A lot of damage on that front nose.
He's going to need to watch those engine temperatures. That water temperature and that oil temperature can really start to climb if that radiator has a hole punched in it from that damage.
Up farther ahead, they got Dane Hagen and Ganoyski. Hagen sends it in with authority heading into turn 1. And Ganoyski, he does have some nose damage as well. He was involved in that first incident. Ganoyski grinding on the wall as Keith Bradley and Michael McKinnon are having a fight up there for 3rd place. And this is happening right in front of Tyler Dittmer. Two cars battling and creating kind of a roadblock situation. Dittmer trying to force his way around the outside of McKinnon.
Dittmer not able to make that pass happen, but he might have another chance as Bradley and McKinnon go side by side once again. Where's Dittmer going to go? He's going to look to the inside.
Oh, he tries to look down there. Bradley's up high. Dittmer's trying to get the power down to get side by side with Bradley. He does get side by side with Bradley, and there's McKinnon up in front of him. Dittmer sends it in. Got his nose ahead of Bradley. He just now needs to be clear of Bradley, and he does. Dittmer up into fourth, and now he's trying to chase down McKinnon and catch up to Rhett Tucker and Jason Higginbotham, who are now 4 seconds ahead of him. Happening behind him, Robert
really
Richards
away.
and Justin Lumpkin are still swapping with each other. Lumpkin's still stuck in 7th, and he needs to get his, he needs to get the ball rolling here soon.
Yeah, Lumpkin falling back now. He's in 7th, and he's going to have pressure from Chris Cinnamon in the 3 soon if he doesn't pick up the pace. And you got to think, Lumpkin probably thinking about what adjustments he might need to make in pit road. Might be thinking about possible new strategy coming for that 87 team. They're going to need to try and really pull something out of the hat if they're going to want to win this championship, because they are right now the slowest of the 4 out on the racetrack. And this is not the direction Lumpkin needs to go. You only need to lead on the final lap, but
that helped him.
A good night.
Robert Richards and Keith Bradley got into each other, and Justin Lumpkin going to sneak his way through down on the inside and up into 6th place. Keith Bradley is just stuck on that outside line. He can't find a way to, cement his position right there. And now Lumpkin, well, he's up into 6th. He just needs to get up into 5th now and try to chase down Robert Richards as Keith Bradley and Chris Cinnamon are going to go side by side. And also going side by side, Michael McKinnon and Tyler Dittmer going side by side coming through turn 2. And Tyler, he's made that move clear. McKinnon had to get off the throttle and avoid the wall. Dittmer 5 seconds behind as Scott Osment has had an issue. He's fallen down. He's right beside with, actually, Scott Osment has a lot of damage. Look at the back end of that Hooters car. Very damaged.
Affecting the aerodynamics of that 53. That is right on the spoiler.
Keith Bradley once more stuck on the outside of Joey Doucette.
Dives it back into the corner, trying to get clear of the 18. He will clear him as Cinnamon goes by the 2 car of Torrey Thompson. They are 1 lap down.
Torrey staying on that bottom line, not really affecting most of these drivers. But Bradley, I think his tires are already gone 26 laps into this. He's just falling down the field. As Justin Lumpkin and Robert Richards are still nose to tail with each other. And here comes Lumpkin down low. His car is a little bit out of control. He sends it into 3 and 4. Justin Lumpkin thought about it, and here he goes. He's up into 5th.
Great move from the 87 to put himself up into 5th. Now, if he can get past Michael McKinnon, he will be back up into the playoff fight, because the top 4 on the racetrack will also be the 4 playoff drivers. But here comes Robert Richards in the 48. He wants to try and get past him. Lumpkin gonna go too deep into the corner.
Oh, he was mirror driving a little bit, afraid that Richards might turn him. And he did not. But Robert Richards getting into Lumpkin's head just a little bit. Lumpkin needs to be looking forward and not behind.
McKinnon now going to try and make a move on Tyler Dittmer. He looked to the inside coming off of turn 4. Not going to make it stick down there into 1. As McKinnon still sits in between the 2 playoff drivers, Dittmer and Lumpkin, coming back onto the back straightaway. Will McKinnon make a move going into 3? He's peeking that nose in, and Dittmer's going to run the outside line. Here comes McKinnon now looking for a top 3 spot here in stage number 1. We are at 21 laps to go here in the first stage of the night, 50, 50, and 80. are tonight's stages. Here comes McKinnon, but here comes Lumpkin. He's going to get a good run. Going to the outside now. McKinnon, they're side by side.
Michael McKinnon being a little bit of a block and a nuisance for Lumpkin right there. Lumpkin has the speed on the outside, and Tyler Dittmer kind of stuck with nowhere to go, holding that outside line, and there's no real advantage to running that outside line besides tire wear, and that's all I can think of. And right behind Justin Lumpkin, Robert Richards almost got into him as that roadblock of Michael McKinnon as he jumps up into third. Tyler Dittmer is now within Lumpkin's reach.
Here comes Lumpkin. Will he make a move on Dittmer? Yes, he does. He's going for a third place spot in the championship right now. Getting down on that inside line. Right on the inside yellow line. Dittmer going to go wide. Almost hits the wall now. And back into turn number one. Lumpkin's going to take over third place. But here comes Robert Richards trying to go to the inside. And Dittmer now. Lumpkin not going to complete the pass.
Lumpkin got it done right there. Justin Lumpkin, third in the championship. As Stephen Thomas gets set up by Joey Doucette as he moves up into seventh.
The gap between the top two right now, Higginbotham and Tucker, has grown to now over 2 seconds. And the gap from McKinnon to Jason Higginbotham is around 10 seconds. So the top two gap in the field.
Rewind.
Higginbotham gapping everybody right now.
Higginbotham and Tucker are putting on a show, but Tucker is falling back 2 seconds by Higginbotham. Jason Higginbotham is just destroying this field's pace. As Stephen Thomas and Robert Richards battling side by side heading into turns 3.
Stephen Thomas was one driver that we thought would be in the top 4 of the championship. Missed out on it, was cut out in the last round.
Heartbreak for him, but he's desperately fighting for that 5th place. But to do that, he needs to finish ahead of Michael McKinnon. Chris Cinnamon holding down the inside of Robert Richards. Robert Richards holding that outside line. They're going to go side by side across the line and continue this on for another lap as Tyler Dittmer is under pressure by Stephen Thomas. And Ben Ganoyski's in the wall ahead of him.
Ganoyski running right up against the wall. He had similar issues at Bristol where he was basically just going on and off of the wall. He's already 1 lap down. He's going to fall to the tail end of this lead lap group. And now gonna go 1 lap down is Dane Hagan. So here comes Jason Higginbotham, your leader and current leader in the championship, as well as he's the top of the playoff drivers.
Scott Osment under pressure. That back end of his car is just torn up hard. But Matthew Highmore is closing in on him. Highmore's got his nose in there. Just can't get it off on the exit. Going to try to send it into turn 1. No dice right there. Watch it off. Watch this exit. Watch this exit. Highmore gets onto the power early. And he's got the inside of Osment. Tries to send it into turn 3. They're still side by side. And Highmore gets his nose ahead. Sends it down low. Highmore's up into 11th. Chris Cinnamon and Robert Richards continue their fight. And oh, Richards locks up and hits Cinnamon.
Huge contact between those two. Not championship drivers, but man, what a hard hit for Cinnamon. He was able to save it.
Robert Richards is sending it a little bit too hard, locked up the brakes, came into Cinnamon and just tank slapped him. Right where the fuel's supposed to go. Luckily, this is a simulated car, so we don't have to worry about the fuel line getting just janked out of the car from a hit like that. And Keith Bradley and Highmore going side by side. Highmore goes down low. Highmore making moves up here.
He is trying to now break into the top 10 as Keith Bradley is that 10th place truck, and he is now going to punch his ticket to the top 10 as he takes over the 10th spot. That 18 of Keith Bradley has been going backwards for about 20 laps. Definitely wondering if he might have some internal issues with that truck and maybe high engine temperatures and trying to get back further in the pack, or those tires just got burned up so quickly by Keith Bradley. Very surprised, though, because he really only had about 10 green flag laps on those tires before they really started to fall off.
You want to know who's been moving up through this pack? Stephen Thomas. He's up 12 spots from where he started. 12!
Absolutely insane drive going right now for Stephen Thomas as he takes 5 to go here in stage 1.
Highmore trying to challenge that. He's just made his 10th place up, using the Blatz car to his advantage. Kind of like as a pick, sends it down the inside of Robert Richards. Highmore into 9th.
Highmore making a lot of moves up through the field. He needs to pass 2 more cars before he equals Stephen Thomas in the amount of trucks passed tonight.
He's got a second to catch up to them. We look at Michael McKinney. He's got Stephen Thomas dancing on his tail. Justin Lumpkin and Tyler Dittmer sitting in 6th and 7th right now. They're separated by each other, but the man who's separated from everybody is Jason Higginbotham. Let's bring up our track map. He's so far away. He's at the back end of the pack. This is looking like Rhett Tucker at Bristol. Because we only got...
Jason Higginbotham is on rails right now.
He is on rails, and he's about to be even happier. 12 cars on the lead lap with 1 lap to go here in stage 1.
Now, this won't help him at all in the playoffs or the fight for the championship tonight, but it is good to punch your ticket into stage number 1 as the winner. And that's going to give him a pretty big morale boost going into stage 2 and 3 as Higginbotham going to cross the line. He is going to take the win here in stage number 1 from Richmond.
Higginbotham, P1, followed by Rhett Tucker. Now we do have a fight for P3 between McKinnon and Thompson, but Michael McKinnon's going to win that as the caution comes out. As your top 10 as they cross the line. Just waiting for everyone to cross the line and form up. There they go. Jason Higginbotham, followed by Rhett Tucker, Michael McKinnon, Stephen Thomas, Joey Doucette, Justin Lumpkin, Chris Cinnamon, Tyler Dittmer. Tyler Dittmer ahead of Cinnamon, followed by Matthew Highmore and Keith Bradley. Our top 10 here at Richmond. You're watching the finale of the Snead Competition Design Truck Series here at Racecraft TV. We'll be right back after this break. This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description.
Let's face it, to build a new website or redesign your existing site, you have 2 options. You can start by learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, SEO, SQL, CMS, well, you get the idea. Or you can be smarter and look for someone who is a professional in web design like Snead Competition Design. We are experienced in building quality websites for our clients. We always start with strategy and planning to build a clear vision about what you need. Your website will then be passed on to the design and development phase, where we will ensure that you get a fully responsive design that is easy to use regardless of any device using the latest tools in web development. Contact us today, and let's talk about accelerating your business to the next level by creating a complete online solution.
At McConey Setup Shop, we offer custom-built setups for any asphalt oval car. Prices starting at just $5. Weekly setups available for all Legends, late models, modifieds, and NASCAR trucks, Xfinity, and Cup cars. Do you need one-on-one driver coaching? We've got you covered. Visit www.McConeySetupShop.com and find yourself in Victory Lane. McConey Setup Shop, handling all your setup needs so you don't have to.
Welcome back to Racecraft TV. We're back here live at Richmond Raceway for the finale. We're looking at our championship leader and stage 1 winner, Jason Higginbotham, and he's sitting in that prime spot where everyone wants to be, first place.
And he currently leads the championship as well, and that's the most important part. As Rhett Tucker sits in second, he is the second playoff driver on the track. Justin Lumpkin, third playoff driver on the track, is in 6th place with Tyler Dittmer, the fourth playoff driver in 9th place. So the playoff drivers pretty split up except for those top two, and the top two right now on the racetrack and in the playoffs are really the top two that we expected out of this fight.
It certainly is. These two, well, they've been going at it throughout all season, and it is going to be a very interesting fight for this race, but Higginbotham's pace in stage 1 was just insane, and once he got that gap on Tucker, nobody could catch him, as it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this race goes on again, as we're going to go green with 54 laps to, no, not 54, 44 laps to go here in stage number 2. We race to lap 100. And you know what I really want to do? They like these trucks loud, so let's take them out. Let's crank it up here at Richmond. And let's immediately crank it back down as Rhett Tucker sends it down to the inside of Higginbotham. Jason Higginbotham losing the lead to Rhett Tucker as he made that move down to the inside. And it was a crazy start. Not the best for Higginbotham. As we look down through the field, Justin Lumpkin made up some moves now as he's up into 5th place.
Rhett Tucker takes the lead, and this is not what Higginbotham wanted. Caution is out.
Torrey Thompson reversed back onto the track after spinning out of turn 2. Bring out the caution.
And that's kind of a good thing for Jason Higginbotham as Rhett Tucker took the lead, and we have seen way too many times how Rhett Tucker grabs the lead and just starts pulling away. This is a breath of fresh air now for Higginbotham as he's going to be able to get another shot to get that lead back from Rhett Tucker.
Yeah, Higginbotham has to get his head clear on what he did during that start because Tucker was just on it. But caution back out here at Richmond for the Truck Series finale. We'll be right back after this small break. This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description.
Let's face it, to build a new website or redesign your existing site, you have 2 options. You can start by learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, SEO, SQL, CMS, well, you get the idea. Or you can be smarter and look for someone who is a professional in web design like Snead Competition Design. We are experienced in building quality websites for our clients. We always start with strategy and planning to build a clear vision about what you need. Your website will then be passed on to the design and development phase, where we will ensure that you get a fully responsive design that is easy to use regardless of any device using the latest tools in web development. Contact us today, and let's talk about accelerating your business to the next level by creating a complete online solution.
Welcome back to Racecraft TV. We are back here live for the Snead Competition Design Truck Series season finale here at Richmond as we enter lap 62 underneath caution after a spin by Tori Thompson, bringing out the yellow. 14 cars on the lead lap. Rhett Tucker leads this race after a very good restart, taking over the lead from Jason Higginbotham. And that fight for the lead is, well, it certainly is alive and well right now.
It's all going to come down to this restart because we've seen very similar stuff from Rhett Tucker throughout the regular season and throughout the first part of this playoffs, where he grabs the lead most likely off of a restart and then just pulls away and doesn't look back. We could be seeing a resurgence of Rhett Tucker now in the last half of this race as we're nearing halfway and we're just a couple laps into stage number 2. They're going to be going back green with looks to be around 30 some odd laps remaining here in stage number 2. Plenty of time for Higginbotham to catch up, but he's going to need to really pull up a miracle to get up ahead of Rhett Tucker on a restart. That is very difficult to do when Rhett Tucker's in control.
Yeah, Rhett Tucker, I've never really seen a moment where Rhett Tucker has lost a restart battle. I would say the super speedways would be the only bet, but we'll see as the pace car goes around once more. Still waiting for the lights to go out right there. They should be going out right now. Yep, there they go. Tucker going for that outside line to restart, so that's going to be his advantage because he has the rubber on the outside of the track. But, you know, that inside line is where you want to be because you can send it down in there. So if Higginbotham can get beside Tucker on that restart, watch him closely, he can easily jump up into the lead. So we watch from the grandstands. Who's it going to be on this restart, Tucker or Higginbotham? Lights are out on the pace car. So we're going into lap 65 here at Richmond, here for the Snead Competition Design Truck Series season finale here on Racecraft TV. Pace car pulls off, and here we go. Green flag in the air.
Green flag, green flag.
Tucker, early start. Tucker way into the lead. Followed by Higginbotham, Thomas, McKinnon, Lumpkin, Doucette, Dittmer, Highmore, Bradley, and Richards are top 10. And there's a little bit of shuffling throughout the field. Keith Bradley making up some moves.
And there goes Rhett Tucker pulling away. That's exactly what we were expecting to happen. There goes Rhett Tucker, now a half-second lead over Jason Higginbotham behind. Here comes the Rhett Tucker domination we've been seeing all season long.
And also taking a look at all of our other battles, championship battles. Tyler Dittmer had a good start. He made up a move, closing in on Justin Lumpkin, who is stuck behind Michael McKinnon right there in 5th place. Michael McKinnon looking down low on Stephen Thomas, where it's just to defend on Justin Lumpkin. It's looking as he's taking a defensive line, wanting to keep that top 5 and win that butt kicker prize. This place
now really chasing down Michael McKinnon.
Yeah, Justin Lumpkin hunting him pretty much. And earlier on this race, he was having some trouble, but I think he's gelled with the car, found out what he wasn't doing right, and he's really got on it.
Going back up to the bottom for the lead. Higginbotham has closed the gap on Rhett Tucker. It was a lot farther than it is right now. What's going to happen between their tire wears? That's really what's going to come down to who's going to have the better run over stage number 2. Will Rhett Tucker burn his tires up faster than Higginbotham will? We've seen Rhett Tucker in the past really manage those tires really well, especially when he's controlling the field. And he's got 4.5 tenths now over Jason Higginbotham.
Yeah, Rhett Tucker sitting out front ahead of Higginbotham. That gap only about a half a second. But you did mention the tires, and I'm going to have to mention the lap traffic. Now, you can use the lap traffic kind of like a pick here, but it's going to be a very awkward pick because it's very hard to pass here around the outside or down to the inside. So if one of those lap cars stays on that inside line, it's going to be a nightmare for Rhett Tucker or Higginbotham to try to get past them. But Higginbotham in the last few quarters has been closing in head and tail on Rhett Tucker.
Will he make a pass for the lead? We saw Rhett Tucker get in this same situation throughout that first stint in stage number 1. And just was not making that move on Jason Higginbotham. And he went on to fall off the pace about 2 seconds from Higginbotham when he was leading the race. So will Higginbotham get by Rhett Tucker to take the lead back, or is he going to ride in second throughout this second stage?
Well, that's what we're going to find out here shortly. Higginbotham just 3 tenths now behind him.
Needs to make sure he's not burning up those tires. That is going to be the killer. If one of those drivers burns up their rubber on the Goodyear tires, they might end up falling back a lot further than just a couple seconds off the lead. They might fall back outside of the top 5 or outside of the top 10, like we saw with Keith Bradley in the first run. Here comes Higginbotham. What a run through the middle of the corner.
Jason Higginbotham getting his elbows out and, well, I would say, some would say, spinning on his hands and going in for the kill. Right there, got very close to Rhett Tucker heading into turn 3.
Back across the line once again onto lap number 76. 25 laps to go here in stage number 2. Officially halfway done with the stage. Still halfway to go as Tucker pulling back away from Jason Higginbotham. Higginbotham got really close going through turns 3 and 4 a couple laps ago, but
it's pulling a gap.
Yeah, and after that, it looked like he slammed on the brakes to avoid running into the back end of Rhett Tucker and hitting him and moving him out of the way.
That cooked the tires.
Wreck him. Yeah, that cooked the tires, but it also ruined his momentum, as now he's gonna have to build that back.
Certainly is. I didn't see any lockup from Higginbotham, but it certainly did made the tires a little bit hot. As let's take a look at championship contender Justin Lumpkin sitting down in 3rd in the championships. He's 5th overall right now. And he's trying to chase down the guy who's in 5th overall in the championship standings. And current runner for that butt kicker, Michael McKinnon, as they're battling that 4th.
Lumpkin has still quite a bit of a ways to go, about 4 seconds.
Oh, he hesitated on that turn in.
Look at Joey Duquette, moved him out of the way.
Oh, there's a lap car up there at top, and that lap car gets into Keith Bradley. Keith Bradley into the wall. And Bradley's around.
Caution is out.
Robert Richards is also into the wall. He got into the lap car. And that is Torrey Thompson bringing out that caution after getting into, well, I think Robert Richards and Keith Bradley. See Torrey Thompson out there. Bradley. Oh, he got into the wall and just bumped into Bradley right there. And then Torrey just went straight up the track, got into Robert Richards. Kind of pinned him into the wall. And Tyler Dittmer and Matthew Highmore are going into the pit lane.
How will this pit strategy affect them? A lot of the playoff drivers not coming in.
Yeah, 3 of them are in. Only one of them, Tyler Dittmer, is in there. And he's messed up on his pit stop. He had to go forward, then reverse. So, He's going to be coming out just a little bit later than everybody else. There's Keith Bradley getting into his pits after, well, slamming into the wall. I see Tyler has a little bit of damage on his front nose.
Might be getting that damage fixed sooner rather than later so he can focus on the rest of the race and not focus on that damage. But still, that's going to set him way down the order. He won't go a lap down because he pitted under the caution, but he's now down in 11th compared to 1st, 2nd, and 6th where the other playoff drivers are currently residing.
Now, he's going to have the better tires out of everybody else in this field. Dane Hagen and Scott Osmet are into the pits as well, so Dittmer could be going... Yeah, he does go up into 9th place. So he's in the top 10, but he really needs to get a great restart on those fresh tires.
We're on 9 laps to go here in stage number 2. We're going to be going green with just a handful left. I'm not expecting Dittmer to really use those fresh tires a lot during this run, but the gamble comes, is he going to stay out on the stage 2 caution, or will he come into pit road to be on the same strategy as everybody else? Because then he's going to have more worn tires than everybody else in the stage that really matters, the final one.
I feel like you're on to something, because a lot of drivers just went into pit lane as well. Dittmer's now in 8th place. I feel like a lot of drivers who just went into the pit lane are doing the new tire strategy, and that's going to be a big handful on the start of stage number 3.
And those playoff drivers, none of them came in except for Dittmer. So Dittmer's the only one on a different pit strategy except for those playoff drivers. 30-lap old tires on each of the playoff drivers, and as well Stephen Thomas, Michael McKinnon, Joey Duquette, and Cody Knott, who are not in the playoffs.
Dittmer's going to have a very rocket start, but he's got to be cautious on these overtakes because everyone's going to be so loose on this restart. Tyler's going to be starting on that outside line. He's got to watch his inside, and we got to watch for his guys starting on old tires and spinning them up. But with only about 6 laps remaining here, when we go back to green here in state, no, not 6, 16 laps remaining as we go back to green. As we end this stage on lap 100, Tyler Dittmer does have a chance to get back up there.
But again, those tires are going to be burned up throughout these overtakes. And we know, what I'm also wondering, will the regular
drivers we got
let
a
him by?
McKinnon spun his tires! They went 3 wide! Dittmer's already into the wall!
He's in the wall!
But he's made that move around the outside of McKinnon. We were expecting someone to spin those tires, and they did! McKinnon spun those tires. Dittmer up into 7th. And he's already looking onto the outside of Cinnamon.
He's going to need a good run coming off of the corner. He's going to try and get it. He has damage now on the side from hitting the wall. Hopefully that doesn't affect him. Here he goes on Justin Lumpkin, playoff driver as well. They're side by side.
Dittmer trying to get 3rd in the playoffs right here on Justin Lumpkin. He's got the speed, he's got the entrance, and he's got the grip on the outside. Tyler Dittmer up into 5th place.
Now will Dittmer move up further as he is in the top 5. Coming up on Joey Duquette.
He is a steam locomotive right now. Dittmer, there's nothing stopping him. Doucette's getting out of the way. Dittmer's coming through. He's in 4th.
Now, will he pit under this stage caution? I'm assuming he will because he's not really going to have that much to lose. He's already 3rd in the playoffs and pretty much back to where he was before he came into pit road. I think he might be further up than he was.
He is. He's gained spots. He was in 6th place when he went into the pits. And
Dittmer's around! And he's around in the infield!
And he's hit the wall. He's turned around. No! Tyler Dittmer was given the switchback by Stephen Thompson, who came up right in front of him, giving him a lot of dirty air on that damaged nose. And then the back end of his car just left him. And here on lap 90, Tyler Dittmer's car went from 4th place down to 13th, and he's in very bad shape right now. And I think that's Tyler Dittmer's championship dreams, well, up in smoke.
Stephen Thomas was not playing any games with Tyler Dittmer. And Dittmer got loose trying to make a move to the inside, and around he went into the infield and hit the wall. Damage to the back end. That is not what he wanted.
Yeah. Not good day for Tyler Dittmer, but the battle up front between Higginbotham and Tucker has 10 laps to go here in stage 2. And Higginbotham and Tucker, these two, well, they have a history together, and let me tell you, it's going to get very wild here for this championship. And they're giving us a little bit of a preview.
How is this battle going to end? They are now at 8 to go here in stage number 2. Again, the stages don't really do anything now in the finale. They're mainly just for bragging rights, but it's also those bragging rights and the morale boost really going into the final stage that's going to count for these stage winners. And you're looking at the first stage winner right up on your screen. It's Jason Higginbotham in the 56, but Rhett Tucker hoping to win stage number 2, and then the top 2 in the playoffs will be even on stage wins, and it's all going to come down to that final stage.
Certainly it's going to be coming down to that final stage, but it's also about who is going to be leading out in stage 3. We saw a lot of guys going into the pits. Some of them might be staying out. We'll find out in 5 more laps.
Man,
about
what
them
heartbreak for Tyler Dittmer.
The more I think about it, the more heartbroken I am. But here comes Higginbotham. Ooh, got a little bit loose, but he's got his nose down in there. Tucker has to stay up high. Here goes Higginbotham down low. Jason Higginbotham, Rhett Tucker racing out for the championship lead. And the lead of the race, Higginbotham. It's got the inside line. Tucker on the outside. Higginbotham sends it in. Tucker trying to hold it around to the outside. Save those tires just a little bit. Gets a little bit loose on exit. Here comes Tucker around the outside. But Higginbotham, he's still there. He sends it deep into turn 1, almost sideways mid-quarter. And Tucker is going wide, almost into the wall. And Higginbotham has got it.
Can he take the first 2 opening stages? He's got 3 more laps to hold on to the lead.
Higginbotham is where he knows how to be. Qualified on pole. Won stage number 1 by 2 seconds. And I feel like he's going to try to go for that clean sweep of the wins here. Win the first stage, win the second stage, win the race, and win the championship. 2 laps to go here in stage 1, and he's pulling a gap on Tucker. Half a second already and climbing. Higginbotham's long run pace on old tires is insane. Green and white flag in the air. 7/10 separate them.
Higginbotham fought back after that restart and got back by Rhett Tucker. What a drive for Higginbotham, and this is setting him up absolutely perfectly for stage number 3 and the final push to the championship. Higginbotham takes stage 1 and he takes stage 2.
Jason Higginbotham. He's got all types of pride now. 80 laps remain here and the Snead Competition Design Truck Series finale here at Richmond on Racecraft TV. We'll be right back for the start of stage number 3. Who's going to be taking home the gold here today? Stay tuned and you'll find out. This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description.
Let's face it, to build a new website or redesign your existing site, you have two options. You can start by learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, SEO, SQL, CMS, well, you get the idea. Or you can be smarter and look for someone who is a professional in web design like Snead Competition Design. We are experienced in building quality websites for our clients. We always start with strategy and planning to build a clear vision about what you need. Your website will then be passed on to the design and development phase, where we will ensure that you get a fully responsive design that is easy to use regardless of any device using the latest tools in web development. Contact us today, and let's talk about accelerating your business to the next level by creating a complete online solution.
At McConey Setup Shop, we offer custom-built setups for any asphalt oval car. Prices starting at just $5. Weekly setups available for all Legends, late models, modifieds, and NASCAR trucks, Xfinity, and Cup cars. Do you need one-on-one driver coaching? We've got you covered. Visit www.McConeySetupShop.com and find yourself in Victory Lane. McConey Setup Shop, handling all your setup needs so you don't have to.
Welcome back to Racecraft TV. We are back here live at Richmond for the Snead Competition Design Truck Series finale. Jason Higginbotham wins stage 1 and stage number 2 after a late run push, getting him that win, but he's not taking the lead, as Matthew Highmore decided that when he went on lap 82, he's going to stay out here and save those tire sets. And now Matthew Highmore leads this race and could be a little bit of a dark horse in this situation, and a definite wrench in the plans of Higginbotham and Rhett Tucker, because Tucker's going to be starting behind Highmore and Higginbotham's going to be starting on the outside. Higginbotham, I would think, would have the advantage up here on this restart.
Higginbotham definitely has the advantage. It's just a problem of Rhett Tucker being there, because we were talking about it over the break, how Higginbotham has great long run pace, but that short run pace doesn't seem to be there just yet. It might be a little bit later. It could be on this short run, depending on if they made any changes during the caution, but that short run pace just isn't there from Higginbotham. But if he gets a long green flag run during this stage, we might see Higginbotham run all the way to the end here of this stage and take the win. Just depends on how many cautions we are going to see here in this stage. We've seen 2 so far for 2 different spins, both at the beginning of stage 1 and 2. The other 2 cautions out of the 5 were for the stage breaks. Then we had 1 more for another spin towards the middle of the stage. And here we go. It's time for stage number 3.
Matthew Highmore in control of the start, puts the pedal to the metal, and it's a very early start, and Higginbotham has to check up so he doesn't get black flagged, and Tucker swings it through, splits the middle. Tucker jumps up into first, followed by Higginbotham trying to swing it around the outside of Highmore, and he's got that move made and done. But Rhett Tucker, using those new tires to the advantage, he timed that start perfectly, and Tucker half a second already into the lead. Now it's a giant pack going 3 wide behind him. Bradley Thomas and Lumpkin 3 wide heading into turn 1. Lumpkin getting the best out of there. He's now on the outside sitting in 4th place. Remember, Lumpkin's fighting for that championship. Big hit of overseer right there as Highmore is still on the bottom.
Lumpkin goes around the outside. Here comes Keith Bradley back into this fight too.
Keith Bradley in 4th place, not in the championship, but he is definitely wanting to be the first of the non-playoff runners, as the playoff runners are 1, 2, and 3, with Tyler Dittmer sitting in 12th. And Steven
And
Thomas.
that heartbreak for Dittmer. He's not even back up in the top 10 yet.
Yeah, I get to see Dittmer. His car's looking a lot better now, but he's dealing with some front end damage, some rear end damage, and some higher engine temps. And, you know, in a long game, if this stays green, there's a crash in front of him. The 16 of Joey Doucette gets turned by Dane Hagen, and that brings out the 6th caution of the night. Also, Lance Miller is spun on the inside in a separate incident, and he comes up on it, almost hits Tory.
Top 3 now.
Oh,
all
wait, it was
playoff
Lance
drivers
Miller.
as the caution comes back out.
Lance Miller was turned by Dittmer. Dittmer turned Miller. So Lance Miller definitely not happy about that. His truck's seen better days, but Tyler Dittmer, maybe a little bit of red mist and a little bit of getting a little bit too feisty trying to get back up into the championship fight. But this is going to be redemption for Jason Higginbotham on that restart after hitting the pedal just a little bit too early on Highmore, which caused Highmore to, well, bunch up Higginbotham to avoid getting black flag for passing before the start-finish line on the leader. Which is something you don't want in the championship race. So it'll be Tucker in charge of the restart. Higginbotham up high with Justin Lumpkin sitting in 3rd. Keith Bradley in 4th. Highmore in 5th. And we got to watch Highmore start in case he spins up those tires.
His restart's going to be incredibly important for Jason Higginbotham. Will he be able to get that lead back from Rhett Tucker, or will it be another long game for Higginbotham to pretty much wait until Rhett Tucker gets further on into the run to burn up those tires, and he'll be able to grab the lead back? Right now, they aren't racing for a stage win. They aren't racing for a good points day. They're racing for a championship. And the main question we got to ask is, what are these guys willing to do for a championship?
I pretty much got to say the entire kit and caboodle, everything. They're going to be throwing the kitchen sink at them. The dog. The garden gnome, even though I think everyone wants to throw those things out. Sister's favorite plant. Anything else?
I think you've covered the bases.
Cover the bases except for deadly weapons, but you gotta keep it a little bit civil here. This isn't all-out war. If it's all-out war, this would be a figure-8 race.
I'm going to talk to Michael McKinnon about a figure-8 race with the jump down on these trucks.
You know what's really interesting? I've seen the cup cars actually take on the rallycross track, and I kind of want to see that done with the trucks now at Charlotte.
Would it give them the dirt tires?
Yes, it would.
All right, then yeah. We got to talk to Michael McKinnon about a truck rally series.
All right, if y'all want to see that, email Michael McKinnon and contact NASCAR Racing, and well, we'll see if we can get it done. Because that would certainly be a very interesting race. If not interesting just for the drivers, but very interesting for us. And interesting for y'all to see, because I saw single laps of cup cars around the Charlotte Rallycross race, and I gotta say, it just looks fantastic. I already have people saying it won't work. I've seen a single lap done. I don't know about the race, though. Well, lights are out on the pace car. You can already see Keith Bradley warming up his tires. And this restart is going to get absolutely insane.
Now Lumpkin is joining this playoff fight for the first time. Will we finally see the 87 rival the 99 and the 56 off this restart? That's going to be a huge question. If Lumpkin can hold up with these top two, he might be a threat for the championship and take over what we thought would be a two-horse race in the 56 and the 99 as we're ready to go back racing.
Pedal to the metal, and here we go. Tucker swings it into the lead, and here comes Justin Lumpkin into second place.
Lumpkin's going to take second place. Higginbotham back to third. Keith Bradley going to be in fourth. Stephen Thomas in fifth, but onto the back straightaway. Tucker pulls away, but Justin Lumpkin, for the first time, finds himself in the playoff fight. He's in second.
Justin Lumpkin could be the nail in the coffin for Higginbotham or the nail in the coffin for Rhett Tucker. He's definitely putting in a performance here today, and could be a giant upset for everybody in this top three. Because all day long we were talking about Tucker and Higginbotham. We've not talked about Justin Lumpkin, who started this race in fourth in the overall points. And now he's up into second place, and caution is out. Matthew Highmore is stopped on track.
Well, they're going to get another shot at this restart then, as now Lumpkin sits in second.
Ooh.
Higginbotham will be in third. But will anybody come down pit road?
Highmore got up into the wall, got spun around by Scott Osbat. Tyler Dittmer almost hit Highmore right there. And Highmore's just stopped it on track, brought up the yellow, got back going again. Yellow is out, 7th caution of the night with 60 laps to go. Justin Lumpkin now 6th in second place. You're here watching the Snead Competition Design Truck Series season finale here at Richmond Speedway. You're here watching Racecraft TV. We'll be right back after these messages. This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description.
Let's face it, to build a new website or redesign your existing site, you have two options. You can start by learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, SEO, SQL, CMS, well, you get the idea. Or you can be smarter and look for someone who is a professional in web design like Snead Competition Design. We are experienced in building quality websites for our clients. We always start with strategy and planning to build a clear vision about what you need. Your website will then be passed on to the design and development phase, where we will ensure that you get a fully responsive design that is easy to use regardless of any device using the latest tools in web development. Contact us today, and let's talk about accelerating your business to the next level by creating a complete online solution.
At McConey Setup Shop, we offer custom-built setups for any asphalt oval car. Prices starting at just $5. Weekly setups available for all Legends, late models, modifieds, and NASCAR trucks, Xfinity, and Cup cars. Do you need one-on-one driver coaching? We've got you covered. Visit www.McConeySetupShop.com and find yourself in Victory Lane. McConey Setup Shop, handling all your setup needs so you don't have to.
Welcome back to Racecraft TV. We are back here live at Richmond Speedway. Rhett Tucker leads out the race. Justin Lumpkin sits in second, followed by Jason Higginbotham, our championship top three. Sitting in the top three, we got Keith Bradley in fourth. Now, during the pit stop, led by Chris Cinnamon and Michael McKinnon, they went into the pits in this caution. So, starting in 7th place, the new tires in this field are going to be coming through this grid. I expect chaos at the front in the championship fight.
Lumpkin could be a spoiler here in the championship, but it all depends on how his long run speed does, because tonight, nobody can match the long run speed of Jason Higginbotham. I mean, it's very difficult to beat Higginbotham in long green flag runs. And right now, we are sitting just under 60 to go. Everybody has 21 laps on their tires, except for Michael McKinnon, who was the first to come down pit road. Yes, 7th and down have all come down pit road. They have 3-lap old tires, and that's just under the caution. So, Will they make a run at these leaders, or will the leaders continue to pull away? And we might see Higginbotham really come alive in the 56 towards the end of the run. It all depends on how this run goes. Now this restart goes. Will Rhett Tucker have the lead?
Well, he's going to be in charge. Higginbotham jumping early, and everyone bunches up. Accordion effect out of a mile. Tucker puts the pedal to the metal. Higginbotham stays in second place. And Scott Osman and Stephen Thomas already battling side by side heading into turn 1.
Bradley on the outside of Lumpkin. He's not able to get the spot. Now Bradley going to sit in between Lumpkin and Higginbotham. The 56 now falls into 4th, the lowest he's been on the track all day.
Jason Higginbotham in no man's land right now. He's not getting any help, and he desperately needs to be ahead of Keith Bradley. And he gets down there, and he gets ahead of Bradley. Higginbotham up into 3rd. And oh, Lumpkin, big hit of oversteer, almost goes down onto the inside of the track. And now here comes Higginbotham on Lumpkin.
Will he make the pass? Lumpkin sitting in 2nd. Higginbotham gonna try his best to work his way around him, but will he be able to do it? We've seen long run speed out of the 56. Right now, we need to see some insane short run speed.
Short run speed is the name of the game here on the restarts, but that long run speed is definitely, well, name of the game if it stays green. And with these newer tires, these guys are getting a little bit risky out there. Michael McKinnon, he's up into 6th place now, and he's trying desperately to catch up to Stephen Thomas and Keith Bradley, who are side by side for 4th place.
Stephen Thomas on the inside, Keith Bradley on the outside.
And Thomas
Stephen
made
Thomas
that
has
move.
been up he's been up a lot of places today. I believe he's now back up to where he was.
Lumpkin
12 spots from
understeer.
where he started. Oh!
Lumpkin is understeered up the track, and Higginbotham's back into 2nd.
Now Higginbotham has to chase down Rhett Tucker as Tucker continues to pull away with the lead. 7/10 now separating Tucker and Higginbotham up front.
Oh, here we go. And the new tire gang is closed in on Bradley and Thomas now. McKinnon sitting in 6th. And he sees Keith Bradley ahead of him, and he's not really killing the tires. He just put in his fast lap of the race, but he's not really pushing them as we ride on board with him heading in through turns 2 and 3. His ticket is very easy compared to a few of the other drivers on the newer tires. I feel like a few of them are getting a little bit more crazy than the others. But Bradley gets a big bite of the wall right there, and here comes McKinnon. And down low and makes it easy as Doucette tries to get in there. Doucette got very loose, and Cinnamon gets into the back of Dittmer. Dittmer is in 8th place. Doucette down onto the inside of Bradley, sends it down in there, and Tyler Dittmer is still in this race.
He's going to need to get past Duquette and Bradley. He's on the inside of Bradley now, but he can still see Joey Duquette in the 16 up ahead. Will he be able to get by him? Now Duquette's pulling away from Tyler Dittmer. Those fresh tires not really working as everybody around him has fresh tires. And here comes Cinnamon out of the inside.
He was held up on that exit, though. Keith Bradley is on that racing line. Cinnamon getting a little bit sideways off that exit. But remember, Dittmer's car is damaged. Cinnamon giving a little bit of slide job to Dittmer. Dittmer not wanting to be behind anybody. He needs to be making a charge. But I would say Dittmer needs to be sitting behind somebody and letting them carry his car as much as it can and save those tires as far as it can in case a massive wreck happens. Because the more cautions that happen, the more chances Tyler has a chance to fix his car, and the more chances he has to equalize his position by making up a few spots on that restart and get closer and closer to Tucker, Higginbotham, and Lumpkin with each caution.
Higginbotham slowly closing the gap between him and Jason Higginbotham. Right now,
I mean him and Tucker.
or sorry, him and Rhett Tucker. Very sorry about that. But he's closing that gap, and Rhett Tucker was pulling away for a little bit, but as those tires continue to wear, now they're both on 35-lap-old tires. Higginbotham is right there. When is he going to try and make that move? Will he wait until a little bit later so Rhett Tucker can't retaliate? But it looks like he is faster.
Yep.
He was faster last time by about 0.2.
Yep. Higginbotham putting in a 22.695. Tucker's last lap, 22.85. So he is closing in. He's got the speed. And he's not going to be very immediate about it. He's just going to play the long game. But Tucker had a faster time that time by.
This battle for the championship definitely starting to heat up as Tucker and Higginbotham continue to spar up front. Lumpkin sitting in third, watching this all happen. He's the third playoff driver. Then you go back to Tyler Dittmer, who had a spin in stage number 2. He is in 8th. He's still in the running for the championship, but he's going to need a pretty good miracle if he wants to be up in the race. They're now 40 laps to go here in this race. Who's going to take the championship?
Who has the tires and fuel to make it to the end? Because they went into the pits on lap 100. Can they make it 100 laps on this fuel tank? Can they make it 80 laps on this fuel tank? I don't think so. I believe they do have to go into the pits. And Higginbotham is gaining on Tucker again. 1/10 and 800ths the last 2 laps. And both of them on a different level as they are just clearly just pulling away as McKinnon and Stephen Thomas make up spots and get ahead.
Higginbotham definitely is closing that gap. He's right there. He can make the move if he wanted to, but he's buying that time. And we all know that Rhett Tucker's great on the short run, but tonight it's Higginbotham on the long run that is going to be the main car to beat.
1/100th of a second that time by for Higginbotham.
He's being held up by Rhett Tucker now. He can get by him, but Rhett Tucker blocking that inside line. That's the dominant line here at Richmond. He's going to need a good run coming off of turn 4 or 2 if Higginbotham wants to get around Rhett Tucker.
The more Tucker holds that inside line and just holds up Higginbotham, the more tires that Tucker's burning up for himself and Higginbotham. But as we can see this, Higginbotham has the better tires. And here comes Higginbotham.
Higginbotham.
He's showing his play. 700ths of a second that time by.
Not enough of a run going down into the corner. He's gonna need to try it again. They go through turns 3 and 4 once more. Back onto the front straightaway. They're inside of 35 laps to go. Higginbotham not gonna make a move that time by.
Yeah, that lap was a bit slower coming out of turn 2. Higginbotham almost got into the wall. He gets a bit loose this time by. Higginbotham looking very down low, but that wasn't for a move. That was for a mistake. And he got hit with dreaded oversteer right there. And Devil's Advocate playing its way for Rhett Tucker as Higginbotham lost a lot of time. 1/10 that lap. And the fact that I'm saying 1/10 is a lot of time just shows you how close in competition these two guys are.
And Higginbotham just really trying his best to get around Rhett Tucker. But he just cannot seem to do it, as Richmond is a fairly one-groove racetrack. You can make passes on the outside line, but it's definitely not the preferred line by any means, especially with worn tires. That outside line is going to be a killer if Higginbotham goes up there. So he might have to move
Tyler.
Tucker out of the way. He made a look to the inside. Is he going to make a look going down into the corner? This might be his best opportunity.
And as we're talking about this, Tyler Dittmer and Justin Lumpkin are side by side and nose to tail with each other.
Dittmer trying to make his way back up into this championship fight, but Lumpkin has fallen all the way back to 6th.
Justin Lumpkin fell into a little bit of a dry spell right there. And Tyler Dittmer trying to surprisingly get that 3rd place in the championship in that beat-up 4. The fight that everyone wants to see with 30 laps to go. Higginbotham, Tucker, nose to tail. Higginbotham sends it down low, and Tucker holds him off, doesn't even give him the space. Higginbotham had to go below the yellow line to avoid Tucker's block. If he stayed in that line, Tucker would have gone around. And Higginbotham was already in Tucker's inside, and Tucker just drove like he wasn't there. And Higginbotham grinding into the wall.
29 laps to go. The championship all coming down to this moment. Who is going to be able to take it? Higginbotham makes another move to the inside. Tucker giving no room.
Sending it by Higginbotham. And Tucker forced to go wide. There's no blocking he can do right now, but he's going to chop the nose of Higginbotham. Tucker goes wide. Higginbotham going to coast down low and through. Lance Miller in the 24s blocking both of them. They're 3 wide heading into turn 1. Tucker on the outside. Higginbotham down low. Higginbotham by a car length ahead of Tucker mid-quarter. Tucker holding it back onto the exit, but Higginbotham is going to have the lead on lap 154.
Jason Higginbotham retakes the lead now here in the championship. He won stage 1, he won stage 2, now trying to win stage 3 and the entire championship. He now has a 4/10 gap over Red Tucker in 2nd.
But does he have the fuel? Do all these drivers have the fuel? Are they planning a pit stop soon? Are they going to take 4 tires or are they going to take 2 tires? We're going to find out because it's just only ounces of fuel left. They went in on lap 102. They went 53 laps on these tires. The stages are for 50 laps. Can they carry it an extra 25 laps or are they going to pit very soon?
And Red Tucker has already fallen off. That just goes to show really how fast Higginbotham was and how important that full run speed is. But caution is out.
Doucette and Thomas collision in turn 3. Sorry, turn 2 and collision. Hard hit. Scott Osment buries his car into Doucette. And with 23 laps to go, caution is out, and oh my goodness, a bear collision! Tyler Dittmer! No, that wasn't Tyler Dittmer. Who was that?
That was Lance Miller and Joey Duquette, I think.
Why did Lance Miller just do that? It's right on board with Lance Miller, and well, he sees that incident up there and just drives straight into them and flips over. And he comes into Tyler Dittmer right there.
Higginbotham is in pit road. Rhett Tucker is in pit road. Tyler Dittmer's in pit road. Justin Lumpkin in pit road. This is money stop time.
Higginbotham had the pole. Tucker has a pit stop earlier than Higginbotham, but Higginbotham just has to put the pedal to the metal. Who's going to take 2 tires? Who's going to take 4? Who's going to have the lead coming out of the pit stop and winning this race? We're going to find out. I can see the drivers. Tucker's coming out of the pits, but Higginbotham has the lead coming out of the pit lanes. Tucker right behind Michael McKinnon coming out in 3rd. Tyler Dittmer in 4th. Justin Lumpkin fell down the order hard. But Tyler Dittmer is still in this race.
The short run speed for Rhett Tucker on fresh tires has been really good. But Higginbotham started on the pole, and he led every single lap of stage number 1. He's going to need another run like that if he wants to take this championship, because Rhett Tucker will be starting to his outside or inside if the 56 chooses the outside, but we're going to be inside of 20 laps to go. That is not a lot of time remaining here in this championship.
It is definitely not a lot of time, but we're going to find out here with 20 to go, I believe, when the lights go out, or it might be 19 to go, depending on if our pace car driver is an optimist or a pessimist. But it is going to be a pole position start by Jason Higginbotham. He has another lap to think about how he's going to his strategy on Tucker, because Tucker on those restarts, he knows how to back up the field, but Higginbotham is going to be in control of his destiny right here. But the person we're really going to look out for is Tyler Dittmer. Sits in 4th place. He's 3rd in the championship. Justin Lumpkin is down in 8th. Tyler Dittmer could dark horses in case there is a giant incident between Higginbotham and Tucker in these next 20 laps. And he can also make this a 3-way fight for the championship if he gets past McKinnon on this restart.
Dittmer has another chance, but he's going to need to get by the 2 fastest trucks of the night, which are both right in front of him on this restart. Lights are out. We're going to go back to racing. 18 laps to go in the race and in the season.
18 laps when we go green. The pressure is high. 4 drivers still have a chance. Lumpkin, Dittmer, Rhett Tucker, and Jason Higginbotham are on the front row. Lights are out on the pace car. Higginbotham starting down low in pole with Rhett Tucker on the outside. Who's got the speed? Who's got the tires? Who has the determination to become the Snead Competition Design Truck Series champion? It's Gray Greenan. Here we go. 18 laps to go. Higginbotham puts the pedal to the metal and into the lead. And McKinnon
what a start for
and
Higginbotham.
Dittmer.
That's exactly what he needed.
Dittmer already side by side with McKinnon, but he goes wide. There's Cinnamon on his inside. Dittmer falling down the field.
McKinnon gonna keep 3rd place. Dittmer falls into 4th, but Higginbotham trying to pull away out in front in the 56.
Higginbotham's got the run. There's fights throughout the field. We got a car's turned around. That's Matthew Highmore in turn 1.
Another caution is out.
And Matthew Highmore had Keith Bradley down his inside. And he put on a little bit of block, and Bradley just gave it a little bit of a bump and run. Hard into the wall goes Highmore. Caution is out, and Higginbotham can go again. 9th caution out here today. So we'll come back with about 12 laps to go here at Richmond Motor Speedway for the Snead Competition Design Truck Series. You're watching Racecraft TV. We'll be right back. This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description.
Let's face it, to build a new website or redesign your existing site, you have 2 options. You can start by learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, SEO, SQL, CMS, well, you get the idea. Or you can be smarter and look for someone who is a professional in web design like Snead Competition Design. We are experienced in building quality websites for our clients. We always start with strategy and planning to build a clear vision about what you need. Your website will then be passed on to the design and development phase, where we will ensure that you get a fully responsive design that is easy to use regardless of any device using the latest tools in web development. Contact us today, and let's talk about accelerating your business to the next level by creating a complete online solution.
At McConey Setup Shop, we offer custom-built setups for any asphalt oval car. Prices starting at just $5. Weekly setups available for all Legends, late models, modifieds, and NASCAR trucks, Xfinity, and Cup cars. Do you need one-on-one driver coaching? We've got you covered. Visit www.McConeySetupShop.com and find yourself in Victory Lane. McConey Setup Shop, handling all your setup needs so you don't have to.
Welcome back to Racecraft TV. We are back here live at Richmond Motor Speedway. 9th caution, 13 to go. But it will be about 11 to go when we go back to green flag racing. Stephen Thomas, Matthew Highmore, Joey Doucette are in the pit lane. But Higginbotham, Tucker are still out on track. Tyler Dittmer and Michael McKinnon sit in the second row. Justin Lumpkin sits in 7th. He had a good restart, trying to power his way up the field. He's down the creek without a paddle, but hey, anything can happen here in short track racing.
And this restart is going to be another one that's going to prove who is at the top of this playoff fight. As Higginbotham needs another perfect restart to get above Rhett Tucker. Now Lumpkin is back in this fight in 7th, and Dittmer's just sitting there in 4th. This is not a two-horse fight anymore. This seems to be everybody up at the front here late. They might all have a chance at it.
Everybody has a chance. Some are higher chances than the others, but no one thinks that happened in the Snead Competition Design Series. Nothing is written in stone until that checkered flag drops.
Well, here we go, as Higginbotham is going to be in control of the field. He is your leader. Rhett Tucker to his outside. Then you have Michael McKinnon, non-playoff driver, in 3rd. 4th place, that's Tyler Dittmer. He is a playoff driver. In the next row, it's Cinnamon and Knott, 2 non-playoff drivers. Then Lumpkin sitting in 7th. He's the final playoff driver. As Higginbotham hits the gas, he's going to take the lead over Rhett Tucker going into 1. 11 laps to go.
Green, 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 and let's go back racing. Championship style. Tucker immediately onto the back end of Higginbotham, trying to upset his rear end and get up in there, but he is all up in that bumper right now.
Rhett Tucker has had amazing short run speed all day. Can he continue that? 10 laps to go for the championship. Higginbotham trying to keep the lead.
The tires are spinning up by Higginbotham, both of them putting on insane pace, leaving the field behind. But Jason Higginbotham, fastest lap of the race, 21.89, 1/10 faster than Tucker that time by.
Higginbotham trying to drive it like he stole it and run away with the championship. This is the fight for the win of the season championship, what everybody has been fighting for this season. It came down to the final 4. Now we're down to the final 2 with 8 to go.
And as we were saying that, Tyler Dittmer hit the wall hard, almost came back, almost spun around on the backstretch and brought out a caution. He falls down to 6th place. Justin Lumpkin up into 5th. And Dane Hagan is stopped on the back straight around. The caution has not come out. He hits the wall. If he reverses onto the track, there is a caution, but there is not. He decides to tow it. We stay racing with 7 to go.
They're going to keep racing, and Higginbotham is going to keep pulling away from Rhett Tucker. That gap now growing to half a second, 5/10. Separate the top 2 with 6 to go.
Justin Lumpkin closing in on Cinnamon in turn 1. And Cinnamon goes wide. Here comes Lumpkin down low. Lumpkin into 4th.
Lumpkin making a hard charge late, but he's still 3 seconds back from your leader, Jason Higginbotham, in the championship. 5 final laps.
5 to go. Half a second. Rhett Tucker, half a second behind Jason Higginbotham, and that time is just climbing and climbing and getting higher and higher and higher and higher.
4 laps to go. This is the real test. Can Higginbotham run 4 perfect laps and take the win, not only in the race here at Richmond, but the championship for the Snead Competition Design Truck Series? He comes across the line. Now 3 laps to go, extending that gap over Rhett Tucker even further.
Tucker has damage. Look at the front right of Tucker's car. It's a little bit bent up. Tucker's hit the wall.
Down the back straightaway on 3 to go. They're going to come across the line for 2 laps to go. And that gap staying the same between Higginbotham and Rhett Tucker this time by, but it's not closing in. They ran identical lap times last time by, but Higginbotham trying to put a capitalization on this season for the 56 and take the championship. He comes through turns 3 and 4. He sees the white flag. One more final time around Richmond for the championship.
Jason Higginbotham. Just 2 more corners now, and he can see, he can feel it. He just gotta keep his head cool, and he will be sipping that sweet old champagne as he becomes the Snead Competition Design Truck Series Le Champion. Jason Higginbotham. The fireworks go off. Jason Higginbotham is your champion here today, and he gets a little bit of congratulatory bump right there. But it's time for our champion to burn it down here in Richmond. Jason Higginbotham wins the championship here at Richmond. As let's bring up our results. Jason Higginbotham wins, followed by Rhett Tucker. Michael McKinnon in 3rd, who takes 5th overall of the championship and comes home with a butt kicker. Followed by Justin Lumpkin, who takes 3rd of the championship. Chris Cinnamon, Tyler Dittmer in 4th of the championship. Keith Bradley, Cody Knott, Jesse Sarge, Stephen Thomas, Dane Hagan, Matthew Highmore, Joey Doucette, Scott Osmet, Lance Miller, Tori Thompson, Robert Richards, Ben Ganoyski in 18th. At the end of this grid, followed by Jonathan Munda, Tyler Daniels, and Will Eastman. But all our eyes are on one man, Jason Higginbotham.
What a drive from Higginbotham today, and what a drive from Rhett Tucker, Justin Lumpkin, and Tyler Dittmer. It definitely wasn't easy for Jason Higginbotham to get that win, and he is joining us in the booth, and Austin is going to take this interview away. Congratulations, Jason.
Man, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I tell you, I'm so damn wore out right now. I can't even talk.
Well, you need to talk right now. Champion is you, and it looked like it was going to be either you or Tucker here today, because both of you were just outstanding in the field and just flew away from everybody else. How was that race?
One tough customer, man. He's one tough customer. He's got a hell of a lot of car control, man. You can watch him when you're behind him. He just you know, a lot of people can't control the truck when it broadslides like that. Wreck and broadslide it right up to the wall and then don't hit the wall. It's hard to run with that guy, man. But believe me, I've put in some laps this week. I have put in some laps.
Well, you definitely put in all the hard work, and that work has paid off as you are the Snead Competition Design Truck Series champion. And joining us is lead admin Michael McKinnon.
What do you say, Mike?
Not much, Higgy, man. Great run, dude. I know I had absolutely nothing for you. So great run, great season. So happy to have you here, man. And congratulations on being our first champion. And you'll be the recipient of $300 here just as soon as I can get done and send it your way.
Thank you. Thank you. Sounds good, man. I'm glad we got on last night. I really learned a lot. You know, every race I tried to pick up a few pickup races this week to get some laps, and you couldn't get none. That pickup race last night really helped me because I burnt the right front off. So I can't tell you how many laps I run today to try and save the right front, and it paid off.
Well, it was a great run there. I knew you. I watched you last night stalk everybody, and then when you pick your moment, take it and drive off, just looked like you was able to do the same thing.
Yeah, not at the beginning, not at the first few. I ran it harder there. I didn't want to see that caution for sure at the end, but that's the hardest I've run it all night. But yeah, it was a hell of a long run truck. But man, to make it run short, I took a little break, just a brake bias in the front, and made it run on a short run.
Well, Jason, you put on a heck of a race and a heck of a season. You come up as the champion with $300 in the bank. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, I definitely want to thank Mike McKinnon. I definitely want to thank Snead Competition, Truck Designs, and the whole series. I got to thank my son, Steven. He's had a hard season, but this is his first season in racing. He's doing a hell of a job. He can run some fast laps. He just got to put them all together now. But yeah, I got to thank everybody in the series. It was a lot of fun. It's stressful as hell, but it's a lot of fun.
It certainly looked like a lot of fun out there on track. Congratulations, champion Art Le Champion. And standing by with Joshua Lee, it is Rhett Tucker.
Well, Rhett, what a season
guys?
for you, first of all. I do want to start with the rest of your season because obviously not ending the way you wanted to. Everybody wants to be top step of that championship podium, but what a season from you. I mean, it seemed like every race you were one of the most dominant trucks out there.
Yeah, I was feeling pretty confident before tonight, but Higgy put it on us, man. I didn't have anything for him.
And during this race, we really saw you come alive throughout the short run, and Jason Higginbotham coming alive throughout the long run. Was that kind of how you felt in the truck?
Yeah, for sure. That first run was kind of good because I haven't practiced with him or anything. I know they've been running practice races, but I saw in the first run that once we cleared the lap traffic and everything, I would kind of click off like half a tenth or so every lap, and I was at least hanging with him. So once our tires fell off, I was like, all right, I just got to keep him behind me, and then when we lose our grip, hopefully I'll be able to stay out front. But he just, I don't know, he was quick.
Yeah, he definitely was, and he took that championship tonight. Were you willing to do anything and maybe knock him out of the way if you got the chance for the championship? Or were you going to race him clean to the end?
I would have raced him clean. I love racing that guy. That's what it's about for me, is clean racing. I mean, I would have, tried to bump and run, but I wasn't going to, wreck the guy.
Anyone else you would like to thank here on Racecraft TV?
Yeah, Racecraft for doing all our broadcasts. Can't wait to get it going next season. Michael McKinnon he puts his heart and soul into this stuff. I know we've had our ups and downs and stuff, but I got nothing but love for the guy. Appreciate everything he does. Brady LaBeouf, Clinton Snead, everybody all season long for the most part, man. It's been a bunch of good racing. Playoffs were tight. The wins didn't matter tonight.
Thank you very much. Rhett Tucker now going to send him to Austin Knight. Third place finisher in the championship, Justin Lumpkin.
Well, third place in the race is actually Michael McKinnon. Justin Lumpkin will be with us very soon. But Michael, that race, you were doing everything you can to secure fifth in the championship, and well, you did here tonight. How was that race, man?
I was doing real good. I knew I wouldn't have much for those two guys. I ran a practice race with Higgy last night and all that, but it ended up I had pretty good pace. And then I'm sure during the race, like at the start of one of the stages, you saw me go completely crazy and I didn't take off. Well, I'm admin in these two, so I'm clearing a black flag while I'm trying to restart and get through turn one, and then, had to get a little off sequence with some pit stop, get some track position back, and then make a run at the end.
So what you're saying is you were doing that restart cross-side.
Yeah, I was looking to one side and the green came out and I didn't go, and I'm trying to find the button, and it just didn't look good for sure.
Well, you certainly made it work here today. and you came home third on the podium. You had an up and down day today, but Richmond just definitely spoke with you here, and you finished ahead of 2 of the other championship drivers.
Yeah, I was not going to get in their way. I was just able, I think, save enough tire to stay in front. If they would have got to me, I would have moved. But I can't thank you guys enough. Can't thank these drivers enough. And of course, the people that watch. My wife out in the front room right now watching. It's a family affair with us right now because this is about my only hobby. So I just can't wait to get season 2 on. And thank you guys so much.
Yeah, season 2 starts on not July. That's way too far away. January 4th, and that will be with the Cup Series. We are excited to have you along, and thank you for all you do with the NASRA.
Thank you much, Austin, and thanks for the 50% off for next season because we did such a good job for you. I appreciate that.
Wait, what?
I'll talk to you later, man. Enjoy the night, fellas. Enjoy the night, everybody.
Thank you, Michael. Over to Joshua Lee, who's going to close us out for the season.
Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in here on Racecraft TV all season long here in the NASRA Snead Competition Design Truck Series. Join us as the new seasons for NASRA begin the week of January 4th. For Michael McKinnon, Austin Knight, I am Joshua Lee saying goodbye from Richmond.
This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description.